and their priorities. Here to tell us more about that work and the status of those efforts is Josh Aspig, the State Director for AARP-ND. Welcome back, Josh. Good to see you. Yes, well. Absolutely. So legislative session is a busy time for you guys.
Super busy. Yeah.
So, and I know you and many other members of AARP that come here to talk to us are up at the Capitol, giving testimony, helping us get bills passed. So tell me a little bit about some of the bills that are currently in the legislative session and the status of those bills.
Sure. So we have four big priorities that we know older adults care about in North Dakota. The first is around trying to expand and build more affordable, age-accessible housing. The second is around lowering property taxes. And those, there are lots of bills that we could talk about on those. Honestly, most of those are moving forward pretty steadily and going to be topics of conversation. We spent a lot of time in the first half of the session on our other two priorities, which are protecting all individuals, not just older adults, but with a particular focus on older adults from fraud. And then second, about lowering prescription drug prices. We know both of those issues are top of mind for North Dakotans.
Absolutely. We've done a couple stories about the insulin cap, the price cap for the insulin. Where is that one standing? Is that one passed, or are they still debating on it?
So the insulin cap is still alive and well. House Bill 1114, which is also known as the insulin cap bill, passed the North Dakota House of Representatives. It does two things. One, it continues the pilot program that was started 2 years ago where they applied a $25 cap on insulin and insulin supplies for public employees, but then it also expands it to the general market and to this narrow group of folks that right now don't have that cap on out-of-pocket expenses for insulin and insulin supplies. So that's going over to the Senate side, and we think has a lot of good momentum. We were surprised by the vote in the House that it was as good of a margin it is, but we still have a lot of work to do on the Senate side on that one.
And that is so interesting to me because insulin is something that people very much need.
Correct.
Very, very important, and sometimes can be unaffordable. So can you tell me some stories that you may have heard about people who this is, kind of getting to life and death here?
Yeah, absolutely. It really is a life-saving drug. We've heard stories, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he told me how his insulin went from probably $30 to $50 a month to over $100 a month, just because something changed and he wasn't even sure what. And so having this out-of-pocket cap, I think, will be really important for folks like him and others. So I want to jump back to the fraud issue just for a second.
Absolutely.
We've been doing a lot of work this legislative session about trying to put additional protections up. One of the areas is cryptocurrency fraud. We're seeing this skyrocket. I believe we were here earlier this month talking a little bit about cryptocurrency fraud. There's a bill, House Bill 1447, that would really do three things around cryptocurrency kiosks, or these ATM look-alike machines that are popping up all over the place that scammers are using as a payment mechanism. So it would require those machines to be licensed. It would require them to have clear instructions or notifications about, hey, this, if you're being asked to make a payment by somebody you don't know, it could be fraud. Here's the details of this transaction and what it means for you. And then last but certainly not least, and we think one of the most important provisions, putting a daily transaction limit. We've heard of folks losing upwards of $20,000 to $30,000. They're being told to take money out of their bank account because it's not safe and put it in this safe locker. That is a scam, by the way. If that's happening to you, or you've heard of that, or you're being asked to do that, it's a scam. Don't do it. But if there's a daily transaction limit, they can only put, I think the bill currently stands $2,000 in before the machine would cut them off and say, you can't put any more in here today. And that gives people a chance to stop and go, $2,000
is a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of money. And like you said, this is something that is new and is skyrocketing, and that's how fraudsters usually, they find something that's new and unfamiliar. And so what about the other frauds that we have heard about? Are those still alive, and where are those have kind of fallen off?
Yeah, no. Fraudsters tend to follow the news and follow what's happening and what's hot. And so, on the cryptocurrency, the FBI in 2023 received 5,500 complaints around cryptocurrency kiosks specifically. Americans reported over 189 million in potential fraud, and that's only what was reported. It could be significantly more, and it likely is. It just hasn't been reported. And in North Dakota in 2023, $6 million was stolen through cryptocurrency fraud.
Unbelievable. So really quickly, touch on prescription drug prices. We've talked about a little bit about the insulin.
Yeah, there's another bill that would study how we could maybe index prescription drug prices to the Medicare negotiation that's going on for those folks on Medicare. So there's there's lots happening at the Capitol. We encourage folks, if you haven't talked to your legislators, get a hold of your senators, your representatives, tell them what's on your mind and what's important to you.
Absolutely. The only way to make change is to get in touch with those you voted in.
So,
wonderful, Josh. Well, thank you so much for coming in. If people need to know more, where do they go?
Every Friday we do an update on Facebook Live or our YouTube channel that's called All Things Advocacy, or you can go to aarp.org/ND Advocacy.
All that. Good. Check out those videos.
Yes.
Very good. Thanks so much, Josh. Thanks for joining us.